And welcome back to Washington Commanders Insider. Today, we're talking about the Washington Commanders and the injury concerns that they have. And so let's go ahead and start into the most recent update around the Washington Commanders. And that is that the offense is going to be going into this game pretty banged up. Here is a report talking about how Andrew Wally and then also two running back Austin Eckler are in concussion protocol right now. Eckler has been a non-participant for the last 2 days, and Andrew Wally, well, he was upgraded to a non-participant, limited on Thursday here, but still has to be cleared by the independent doctor before he can play. But what is now concerning for the Washington Commanders is that on top of that, Brian Robinson Jr. has been limited the last 2 days after sustaining that ankle injury in a loss to the Dallas Cowboys. But now we're finding out that Noah Brown has been put on the injury report with a knee injury, and he was a non-participant. So that is not good going or coming out of this Thursday practice. So you have Noah Brown that is listed on the injury report, and he's been pretty huge for the Washington Commanders. I think that outside of Terry McLaurin, I think that he's done a great job. If you go back at that, look at that last game, he was targeted pretty much from Jaden Daniels. So he feels extremely comfortable getting the football out to him. And so, over the last, 7 weeks, this is via CBS.com. They're talking about it. Over the last 7 games, he's surpassed 50 receiving yards on 4 occasions. He's had a line of 23 catches, 315 yards, and 1 touchdown on 42 targets during the stretch. And he also he caught that Hail Mary touchdown pass in that Chicago game. And so again, Noah Brown has been huge, and I think that one of the things that I've been talking about is how do you get this offense going again? Like, how do you really get this offense to not be one dimensional? It means that you're not doing the same things, and that means that you have now got to share the football. You've got to trust some other players out there, and so that means that Luke McCaffrey is going to have to step up. It means that yes, Zach Ertz is going to have to step up, and so I think that this is going to be interesting. Certainly, there's been no final injury report just yet, so we don't know, what the status is going to be for any of these players. But right now, it looks like that the Washington Commanders are going into this thing pretty injured from the offensive standpoint, and I think that this is going to be a tough football game because they have lost 3 straight at 7-5. You're going against a Tennessee Titans team that, yes, they're 3-8, but they've been kind of heating up. I think the last couple of weeks, I think that Will Levis has played pretty good. And so, this is a team that, make no mistake about it, it is going to be tough. We don't want the Washington Commanders to go in and play down to the Tennessee Titans. And I've talked about, just as this team gets better, they're going to have to be able to win the football games that they're supposed to win. And this is one of those games. I think that this is going to be like a gut check for this team that, they're going to have to try to find a way to dig it out. It is a good sign that they did go out there and get Chris Rodriguez Jr. back. I think that he's going to help this team as far as just getting back to their identity and running the football. But now we're going to have some concerns as far as that passing game because if the Titans are locked in on Terry McLaurin, that is going to be an interesting day for Jaden Daniels in this offense. And we know that the Titans, well, they play pretty good against the defense. And so aside from the offense and, maybe the injury concerns, or not maybe the injury concerns going into this game, the Washington Commanders did get a good update. And so that update comes around Marshawn Lattimore. So I talked about Marshawn Lattimore having practice, I believe, for the first time since the trade and everything like that. And according to The Athletic, when they talked to Dan Quinn describing his return to play, he quote awesome unquote. So I guess it was that good for Marshawn Lattimore to go out there and practice today. I guess he looked pretty good. And if you go to theathletic.com and check it out for yourself, there's actually like a little video clip with him. I think he's working with St. Just over there, so he looks pretty good. And he's sitting there checking as a cornerback, and he looks like he's not favoring the leg. So that's a great sign. And one of the things that Dan Quinn talked about is he says, look, we're really following a rigorous process with him. And that's not just with Marshawn, but especially with soft tissue injuries. We have a great staff working together with him, and the feedback that goes with it and also keeps him safe as well. So they're being rigorous in this return. They feel pretty good about it. And it comes at a great time because this Washington Commanders team, according to the Athletic here, look, they are fourth in interceptions, or have 4 interceptions, excuse me, and they're tied for fourth fewest in the league. And right now, we've given up 19 passing touchdowns. And so that is tied for ninth most in the league. And according to this as well, St. Juice, 567 passing yards allowed is the second most of any defensive back in the league with at least 8 games played. So we desperately need Marshawn Lattimore back here. I think that he is going to help out this team. And I think it's going to be interesting because when Marshawn Lattimore does come back, you have Mike Sanders still on the outside. That's, I think, has been playing great. I think he's really I think he's been getting better each week. And I'm extremely optimistic with him out there starting a lot, or starting alongside of Marshawn Lattimore. I think that he is going to be a real star for this defense. I love his run support. And I've loved some of the plays where he's breaking up passes in the end zones and things like that. So he's contesting out there. And you bring a guy like Marshawn Lattimore over, who was allowing a career low 42.9 completion percentage, excuse me, and a career best of just 4.4 yards per target through 7 games. And so this was something that was talked about on the Athletic as well. And so, you're bringing a guy over that is going to cut down these yards. That is going to really help your defense out. And I know that this defense is not number one in the league, but there were times in this last game, and I think over this 3-game skid, that the Washington Commanders defense, they played well enough. They've got enough stops. We just weren't putting the points on the board like we should. Unfortunately, we got it going in the fourth quarter. We would have loved to have taken advantage of the defense that we were getting in this last game, where we had those opportunities, 3 of them, and we only got a field goal or something like that in the first half or whatever it was. You've got to take advantage when your defense gets stops, because look, any offense can heat up and they can get it going at the end of the game. But if you are taking care of business on the other side of the football, then that is going to help you win football games. And so hopefully that is, an injury update that is going to help the Washington Commanders with Marshawn Lattimore coming back. And hopefully, if the Washington Commanders are going to be injured on the offensive side of the ball, they can figure it out with the players that they currently have. And so with that being said, let me know in the comments, what is your biggest injury concern? Is it going to be around the offense with Jaden Daniels? Or is it going to be now defensively? Is that really the biggest injury update for us, is that Marshawn Lattimore is back? I just want to say happy holidays out there. Hope you guys are enjoying your Thanksgiving. And I will see you on the next one. This is Rico. This is Washington Commanders Insider. All right, peace.